and welcome to another pickups video. In today's pickups video, we're gonna only focus on one item today because I feel like this item needs to be a pickups video on its own. So, let's get to it, to another pickups video. Now, in today's pickups video, it's only video games, and this might come to as nostalgic, like, oh, why the fuck does he own it? Oh, wait, right, nostalgic. Why would you play it? Right, nostalgic. It's something that you would never consider even bother to even look at, even if you see it somewhere, just randomly lying about. And I'll show one. I got a whole pile of them, but I'll show you just one for now. That's the old floppy game for the old PC. These are 80s and 90s when PC started getting into gaming. There was no discs. This system didn't come out on the PC till end of Windows 98's life, which wasn't really great until Windows 2000, and they made a big improvement and everybody started going nuts over it. But these are the slightly smaller version of what they had in the 70s and early 80s, which they called them DOS discs, which they were about this big. There was a little hole in there was a hole there. There was actually a design on there. They had like a label. This thing wasn't on there. It was like big. It was huge. Like, here, think of it. I showed you my last video on my Commodore. It's about like that size, but these smaller down. There was no label. The game you wanted, you had to put your own label, which you see right here. This one's NHL 93 in top here, but let's get going to pick up. This is how many I managed to pick up. One tray. There's about close to 200 of them lying in here. Close to it. I haven't sat there to count everything. I just did a quick scan through. It's close to 200. Most of these are PC games, but there is a handful of them that were NES and SNES ports onto the PC, which is pretty cool. I've not yet tried the ports, but from what I've heard from a few people, they said the PC ports for NES and SNES, the graphics were 10 times better, but the controls were god awful because you had to press buttons like W, Z, S, D, A, and then the arrow buttons. But they said the graphics, beautiful. That's all that we know for what I know for the Nintendo port. But for the PC ones, I know because I've used to own them, and I found them yesterday. So it was a good price too, so I had to pick them up. And here, a second tray. I picked up 2 trayfuls. Now, I kind of went through them and organized them for some of the good games that are here and some shit games. So let me get to it and show some of the good games that are on these Windows 80s and 90s Windows Microsoft floppy disks. Now we got here's the stack of good ones. Let me it on. There we go. Of all of the stacks I got, this is all the good games that are actually good or popular or great NES, Super Nintendo ports. The rest of them that are here, they're random PC ones or your popular sports game that, if you all remember, blew up on the PC and did better. But we'll go through some of the good ones that were in the box, or in the 2 trays. Contra 3. Fun game. I played a lot of Contra on my phone, like the arcades. Pretty good game. Better hope this is just like the Super Nintendo port, not the arcade port. We got, okay, this one, some of you might say shit game, but that's coming from a Disney fan. Mickey Mania. Apparently I don't have disc number 1. Apparently this is number 2, so in this box there is no number 1, so I can't play this without number 1. But it's still a fun game in my opinion. And then we got this one. We have a Genesis and a Super Nintendo port. They mixed them both into one. We got TKO Boxing, which was Genesis, and then Gradius 3, which was one of the best shooters on the Super Nintendo. Not just in total, just on the Super Nintendo. And here's a game that originated on the PC, which then Konami said, let's port it onto the NES, SNES, and then Konami took it and reported onto PS2, PS3, Xbox. So this is where the start is, and the version we got on here is the original PC version. Prince of Persia, the most popular PC game known to history. I don't know if this is exactly like the original, or maybe they kind of edited out, because there were ways on the floppy disk to edit out some things. Better hope it's like the original. Now, this one, I never heard of this game, but from when I've asked a couple of people that were there, they said this is a great shooter. And they said it started on the Super Nintendo and there was a PC port to it. And I hope this is the PC port, because this is for a PC. That is Wing Commander: The Secret Mission. I don't know anything about it. Once I play it, I'll let... Yeah, no, unless somebody knows, let me know in the comment section. Alright. Next, we got this one. It's a Genesis port. There were a couple of Genesis ports on here, but mainly you had your NES and SNES ports. This one is another Genesis port, which is Super Ghouls and Ghosts. I've heard it's a really fun game to play on the Genesis, so better be interesting on the PC. Before I continue on, the good thing about these, they only work on older 80s and 90s Windows and Microsoft computers, which I showed you in my last Game Room update. I have a Windows 98 tower, so I can play these. Next game we have Super Castlevania. I'm not good with my Roman numerals, so comment section below you can correct me all you want. IV. I don't know what number IV is, so you can correct me. I'm not good with Roman numerals, but this was a good game for the Super Nintendo. I played a whole hell lot of this. I play the Castlevania series a lot, love it. It's a fun game. Better hope it's just as fun on the PC. Next, we got a game that a lot of people said was shit for the original systems it released for, which I totally forgot what... I know one was the Atari, but there were other systems they released it for, and then they made fun of it in Japan, because the Japanese release on the NES Famicom was bad, and then they kind of fixed it up a little on the PC port in the early 90s, and that is Empire Strikes Back. Now, I better hope this is the PC port, because a lot of people said the PC version of Empire Strikes Back was better. So if it is, I'm going to have a lot of fun. Next, again, I said I was a big Disney fan. I'm also a big fan of the Warner Brothers, like the Bugs Bunny, the Looney Tunes. More specifically, the Roadrunner and the Wile E. Coyote, and that is Roadrunner. I don't care about the game at the bottom. Never heard of it. Asked a few guys that were there, they never heard of it. I only put this in the good list because I love the Roadrunner. I've played the original game. It's fun. Better hope it's just as fun on here. Next, we've got a fun... It's not so much fun because the version that's on here is pretty shit. You could say balls to the wall shit, but I'm a comic book fan, so I had to put this on here. Shit or not. Captain America and the Avengers. Got pretty poor reviews when it came out. Pretty bad, pretty stale, pretty blah. But I'm a comic fan, so I'll put this in the good list, because if I show you all the other stuff, you're gonna laugh at what else is in there, because they're sports. This one, I'm a huge wrestling fan. Played the Super Nintendo version, played the arcade a lot when I was a kid. And this one actually has both discs. Surprise, surprise. Last game I showed you only had disc 2. This one has both disc 1 and disc 2. And I found out this is the arcade version. Better than the Super Nintendo version. That's Royal Rumble. Disc 1 and disc 2. Big wrestling fan? Love the Royal Rumble. Yeah, we've got... I love my fighting games. Love them to death. This one was kind of more like is it really good? Is it really bad? Is it really something I'm gonna hold dear? Not at all, because for me it killed the fighting franchise, but they brought it back on the N64, then killed it again. But I'm a big fighting fan, so I had to put it inside the good pile, and that's Clay Fighters, Super Nintendo version. Played a whole hell lot of this, hated it, but I'm a big fighting fan, so I can't discourage any fighting game. Unless you're on the 3DO, then you suck in general. The 3DO had the worst fighting games, I'm sorry. I'm a fighting fan, I'm gonna admit that. But Clay Fighters, they did good on this N64. This is Super Nintendo version, so better be fun. Here's another fighting game, which, yes, this one also has 2 discs. Hooray! 2 games that are complete. And my all-time favorite fighting game outside of the Super Smash Bros. Series, because like I said in my last video, Super Smash Bros. Is my favorite franchise. This is my favorite fighting game, not just franchise, just fighting game altogether. And that is Street Fighter 2, Disc 1 and Disc 2. I was just hoping this one would be Alpha, because Alpha introduced my favorite character, Akuma. Like, hence that I got the Akuma figure sitting up there. But yeah, Street Fighter 2, we got Disc 1 and 2. Super Nintendo version, not the arcade version. I've already checked out the floppies. Next, we've got a great anime, which turned manga, turned anime, turned video game, which was all Japanese exclusive until 2000. Finally got something for, well, 1999 we got something for them. 2000 they really blew up here in North America, that is. And yes, this one also has both Disc 1 and Disc 2. The Dragon Ball Z Super Famicom. We never got any games on the Super Famicom, and this is a Super Famicom port. Guys over there, I asked them if this is the PS1 game, they said this was a Super Famicom port. And it's all translated in English, so I can understand this. I don't have to try and have a dictionary. Now we got a game that is very, very expensive to get on the Nintendo. But it's really cheap to get on with a floppy disk. If I die, I'll never in my life pay for this game. So, play it on the PC port. Pretty fun. Cheap way to play it. And yes, I did play way back in the days when it came out. Now, too expensive to even bother. But hey, I got it now. Next, we got another game, which I'm currently looking for this game myself for the Super Nintendo. No, for the NES. My bad, I'm still thinking of the last game. This I'm actually looking for myself for my NES, and this is Battletoads Double Dragon, one of the most popular games, because since recent years, like probably a year or two, it's been blown up on YouTube. So many YouTubers showing this, playing this, looking for it. So it's become one of the more popular and more sought after NES games. But I got a PC port of it. Next we got, this one's missing disc 2. And again, maybe it's in here. I haven't gone through everything 100%. That is Mortal Kombat Disc 1. This is the original arcade version, which is so much better than the Genesis port. Now we got 2 games in one, which I enjoy. Like the other ones, I only cared for one of the game. This one is 2 games I care for. That is Mario All-Star and Alien vs. Predator. I really love the Alien franchise, one of my favorites. Love Predators, and I just love Mario. So take all these games, put it into a floppy disk. One amazing floppy disk, 2 choices. And as everybody knows, All-Star has multiple games on there. And then Alien vs. Predator. And then we have another one that also has 2 good games in there. That is The Terminator and Tom and Jerry. Again, I love my cartoons. Love Disney, love Warner Brothers, love the Looney Tunes. So, Tom and Jerry, fun game. Terminator, amazing movie. Shitty quality game, but it's fun because what you do in the game is fun. So, PC port. Now we go to another two game disc. I don't care about the second game, only the first game, which I'm a big comic book fan. Spider-Man and the X-Men. I've never heard of this before, but according to what the guy said, it's Spider-Man and X-Men combined into one game. I don't know if there's actually a game out there like that. Let me know in the comment section below. Let me know, because I've never heard of a Spider-Man X-Men crossover game. If there is one that's outside of the PC, let me know in the comment section below. And then we got one of my all-time favorite shows. Not cartoons, not anime, not video game related, live action shows as a kid. Grew up watching this, never missed an episode, watched all the movies. That is The Addams Family. I even remember one year for Halloween, I dressed up as Gomez Addams. Shows how big of an Addams Family fan I was as a kid. I've never played the game ever, but apparently this is a PC port of the NES game. And this is not the NES game, the game that they ported onto the PC. And then this was the port of that. And then next we got some of the we got 2 copies of it, and it's widely considered one of the shittiest games that was released. And a lot of people questioned when it released at that time, and people question it still to this day, why Shaq Fu Super Nintendo port. I know you're gonna say, who gives a fuck? I know. It's Shaq Fu. Shaq made a mistake. Whatever. It's Shaq Fu on the PC. Better graphics, that's all you're getting. And then we got 2 games in one. I only care for the one game, and that's another Looney Tunes game. Oh no, wait, it's actually one game, sorry. It's actually, they separated the names in this one, sorry. It's actually one game, I actually like this one. Daffy Duck the Martian Mission. Never heard of it, but from what I assume, it's Daffy Duck in the 27th and a half century. Based off the Daffy Duck going in the 27th and a half century spaceship with Porky Pig. I'm pretty sure that's what it is, because if you remember the original Looney Tunes, that's what it was. And then the last one is another Looney Tunes game, and that is Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage. Never heard of this one. Let me know in the comment section below, because this one, I have no clue. Like the Daffy Duck, I can kind of guess. This, let me know in the comment section below, because the guys I got from, they never played this one. They said they got the Looney Tunes games, never played them. So, let me know in the comment section below what is Bugs Bunny Rabbit Rampage. Well, these are all the good games I got out of it. The rest are all random sports games or bullshit games that probably you've heard of or haven't heard of, but you know they're only on the PC and they never amount to anything. Good haul? Not a good haul? Let me know in the comment section below. Big PC gamer, classic PC gamer. That's why I picked them all up. Got an extremely good deal. Let me know in the comment section below. Good, bad, you like it, you don't like it. Let me know some of the games I mentioned that I had no idea. Let me know in the comment section below. And now, as always, enjoy life and keep on collecting.